This guy has an issue with his Tesla, and this was weird. At first, I was kind of I was going to write it off. I was just going to be like, you know what? If anyone inspected their cars the way people inspect their Teslas and can make content about Teslas, then I was thinking we could probably see this with other cars too. But then I clicked on it, and then I looked at the comments on a YouTube video, and it was so many people that had the same experience and were also upset and claimed that it's a widespread issue. This is a weird one. Hot footwell in the car, in the Model 3. Extremely hot footwell issue. Now, this is a kind of a specific thing. It seems to occur in cold climates. Because in a cold climate, the car is rushing to heat up the cabin. Inside of the cabin, you have a temperature sensor, which, if functioning correctly, is like a thermostat in a building, in a room, where once the temperature in the space hits a certain level, it shuts off the thermostat. This is pretty simple stuff. It shuts off the heating. So in a cold climate, I think this guy is like minus 11 Celsius, where he was showing it off. I don't know where he is. He's in Oslo. Look at that. He's in Norway, this guy. Oh. Kind of cold in Norway. Probably nice, though.
Yeah.
What ends up happening is that the vehicle overdoes it on the footwell and can supply temperatures up to 50 Celsius. That's pretty hot, 50 Celsius. And it's to a point where he feels that he has to go in and completely disable the automatic features of the interior heating and cooling system so that he can turn off the footwell situation altogether, because what you end up with is a super cold car, burnt feet.
That's a deadly combination. Very uncomfortable.
It's not a balanced heating going on in there. Now, even himself, he said, I didn't know if I was going to make a video about this. He was like, I didn't know if it was just me or my circumstance. But a lot of people said the same thing. They don't think that the temperature sensor is working correctly or distributing heat correctly within the car, because he took heat measurements all over the car, and he's got 50 C at the footwell, and then elsewhere in the car, it's 20 C.
Yeah, that's right beside his foot, like in this
on top of his foot
video.
Yeah.
It's completely white.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
he's using the thermal imaging. Now, I get it. When the heating and cooling is turned on, if you're going to point your thermal temperature sensor at any of the outlets, you're going to see it being hotter than areas where it isn't. But he's just saying it's above the level not only of other vehicles, but even his previous older Model 3s.
Huh.
This guy's a Tesla enthusiast. So something happened, I guess, with the temperature sensor, where it appears to be a slightly more widespread issue, but it's a weird one. You can go check it out. If you have one of these vehicles, maybe you feel good now knowing, oh man, wow, it's not just mine that seems to have this issue. But it goes to show you how difficult and complicated it is to make a car, Will, and how there's, all these little variables, all these little considerations to make.
Now, you have the Taycan.
I have the Taycan.
Does it do any kind of weird stuff?
No. The only thing I will say about the climate is, by default, it wants to control everything. Like, you can't even just reach up and move the grill of the vent at all.
Yeah.
And some people, they hate that. They're like, I want to control my whole thing. So by default, it's this kind of diffused climate control, but it's bang on. I have no complaints about it. So that's worth noting. But
no hot feet.
That's a weird comparison to make, actually, though, because Model 3 starts at like 50 grand, and the Taycan, a lot more expensive vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's important to put that in there.